Hi, Harvey Elwood. We're here at the African American Economic Summit hosted by the NAACP. I've got Dr. Lanny Randolph. He is the he is the statewide chair for the NAACP here in South Carolina. Welcome to New Perspectives. Of course, you know our show talks about development and the importance of this program. If you just give us a brief comment about the importance of today's event.
Well, this is extremely important, excuse me, as has been addressed by several of the speakers, beginning with Dr. Tisdale. I couldn't say it, if I had to think of words to say something different, it wouldn't be any better. Dr. Tisdale stressed the importance of education and being prepared. And this is an attempt to prepare young people and persons looking for a future, for opportunities.
What areas of impediment do you see in terms of us or African Americans getting contracts? We know that sometimes bonding is a problem, getting the banks involved. Have you all been addressing any of those areas, working with some of the bankers?
In each one of our sessions that we've held over the last 11 or 12 years, we have addressed all the areas. And there is no area that we can actually brag on.
Process being made though?
Progress has been made, but it's slow progress. We're still facing the same challenges that we've always faced in trying to get ahead, trying to break even. And things haven't changed a whole lot. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
But the struggle continues.
The fight goes on.
Yes.
The fight goes on. As we continue to fight, the fight even gets tougher.
Dr. Randolph, we want to thank you for your comments.
Thank you for asking me to make these comments.
Thank you. You have a great afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, do the technical colleges are the components where their continuing education and credit programs come in through the technical college system. But the technical college system also has an economic development and workforce competitiveness division, and that consists of Ready SC and Apprenticeship Carolina. Ready SC is the component that works with companies when they're first coming to South Carolina or when they're going to do a major expansion. So like when Boeing came and now with Volvo coming, Ready SC provides pre-employment training for people looking to be employed with those companies, and it does it at no cost to the company, which is part of the economic incentive for getting those companies to come to South Carolina. And then Apprenticeship Carolina, we come in after that. The Apprenticeship Carolina is designed to take an employee with little or no skills through a training program that will cause them to reach 100% efficiency in the area in which they're being trained.
Back in the 60s when I was in high school, we had what we call trades. Vocational programs were very important because it allowed students to get training for carpentry, auto mechanics, electronics, heat and air conditioning, and so forth. Also, for decades, African Americans were predominant in the construction trades, but somewhere along the line, the emphasis shifted from getting those particular skills to obtaining a 4-year degree. And as a result, we've had a lot of students who have dropped out because everybody's not interested or geared toward a 4-year degree. And quite frankly, you don't need a 4-year degree to do quite well in this country, in my opinion. And I'm very concerned about the high rate of dropout, particularly among African American males and what have you. And I don't know what we're doing to address that. The apprenticeship programs that Demetrius mentioned are extremely important in that area. But we'd like to have some of these students who are dropping out to tell us why they're doing so. And a lot of times, again, we're not meeting their needs. We want to form partnerships between the various business communities and the schools As African Americans, it's important that we go into the schools, and we need to be invited, of course, to go into the schools so that students can see people that look like them who are succeeding in various areas.
We're here at the NAACP African American Academic Summit. We've got Dr. Wilson, of course, Willoughby Owens, and so they're very involved with the NAACP, have been for years, and just wanted to have a quick conversation with them and ask them about what they felt and what they feel about the importance of this event. Tell us a little bit about it, if you would.
Well, you know, this is an event that has been going on, I think, now since 2005. And the purpose and the focus of this is to educate our folk, get them involved and train. It's about wealth building, okay? Entrepreneurship and wealth building. And so what we want to do is educate our folk in those areas, and so that we can concentrate more and become more employers more so than employees, okay? And I think, as you know, back in the day, we had a lot of businesses, and we had more business owners back in the day than we have today. So, you know, what we want to do is if you look at the trend now, very few African Americans have businesses. And so, whatever the reasons may be, but the point is this is where the focus is and what we want to do, and get the African Americans more involved in the global market and become entrepreneurs and business owners.
Ms. Owens?
Well, we are driven by a global economy, and the fact that we are located where we are, less than an hour from the port of Charleston, it's more important than ever to involve our people in being prepared to participate in this economy. What I worry about frequently is making sure that the manufacturers and plants that come to Orangeburg County and this area have the workers to participate in their manufacturing. And that bothers me to a great extent. We need to make sure that we are prepared to get those jobs that are available to us. I do not want an industry to leave Orangeburg County or this area for the lack of employees. We got to make sure that our employees are well prepared to work in this industry and make money for their families, as well as produce a profit for the industry that comes to South Carolina and Orangeburg County.
In other words, job preparedness through education.
Right.
Yes. And I guess that's why you have the technical colleges here today. Dr. Tobin is here from Orangeburg, Calhoun Technical College, and so many others, to make sure that our young people and others are prepared. And we also listen to several people talk about apprenticeships.
There you are.
Yes. And the dollars that are available for apprentices. So you all have put together a very well thought of program of people that will inform us and tell us what we need to have in order.
I just hope you will take advantage of the information that is presented to them today.
If you follow the news over the course of the last 18 months, and despite what you hear about Donald Trump and his tweets and his Russia investigation, one of the things that you should have heard is that there is a widening of the income gap in this country. So the rich tend to get richer. The Dow is trading above 20,000 points and has done that for several months. So even if we as a people don't earn more, the fact that the top 1% earns more means that there's a widening gap in this economy. There's a multiplier effect for manufacturing jobs in this country. So for every manufacturing job created, there's a 2.5 multiplier in other sectors. So that's construction. This manufacturing plant, this company needs to be in a facility. If you ever want to talk about wealth creation, talk to a plumber. I had a plumber come to my house and he charged me $100 just to show up. And then I got a bill for the work that he was going to do. So if you think about construction as a sector, healthcare as a sector, criminal justice as a sector, education as a sector. Manufacturing has a big multiplier effect on this country. So as we make stuff, we also have to figure out how to move stuff. So does anybody know what the most in-demand occupation in this state is right now? Truck driver. In 8 weeks, somebody can be guaranteed a job making beginning $60,000 and upwards of 6 figures very easily. We're talking about wealth creation. As I talk to employers, particularly in the Orangeburg or Claflin County area, for those jobs that don't require some specialized training, I'll talk about that in a second, what they tell me is that they need folks that have what's referred to as soft skills. And I refer to those skills that your grandmother taught you or that you learned as a middle class individual. You learn how to follow directions. You learn how to think critically. You learn how to solve problems. You learn how to communicate. You learn responsibility, something as simple as showing up on time. When I hear from employees about those simple things, it really bothers me because those are character traits. That's not something that somebody learns necessarily in the classroom. Those are things that people are taught as they grow up. So these are skills that we need to be teaching our children. The other thing is, people in this state cannot pass a drug test. I mean, I've talked to an employer and he says, we tell them in 30 days, we're going to screen you for dope. Hint, hint. He still cannot pass the test. I mean, those are character attributes that we need to be talking with our children and our young adults about. Does anybody know what a machine tool technician is? Well, that's the name of the program, but these folks are machinists, so they make the parts that you see that go into these vehicles and these airplanes. I surveyed our local manufacturers just to get a sense of the kind of wages that these folks are earning. So right out the gate with a 2-year degree, these machinists are earning $33 an hour. So if you multiply that by 2,080, which is the number of hours that somebody works in a year, that's about $68,000 a year. 2 years worth of education. And we cannot produce machinists fast enough at our college. The majority of the students, all of the students that graduate from that program have an offer or multiple offers by the time they walk across that stage and graduate from our institution. And that's just one of many. I think you heard Mr. Spells talk about baccalaureate degree graduates who are not able to find employment. A lot of those students will go to 4-year college and then will in turn come to a 2-year college after to get an education. So they will spend 6 years to get a 2-year degree. And one of the things that I say to people is that the 2-year sector is the first stop on the road to the American dream. That is the place where you can save money, you get trained to get an education at a fraction of the cost. The other thing that's important to mention about folks that graduate with a 2-year college and go on to work at a company, most employers will pay for these folks to go back to school. I will not sit here and tell you that a baccalaureate degree is not important, because it is. If you want to advance in a career, or if you want to advance in an organization, I think the baccalaureate degree is the next step. But my goal is to tell you that there are ways to get to a baccalaureate degree at a fraction of the cost and at a fraction of the time that it takes for folks to create wealth and to create opportunity and take advantage of the careers and the jobs that are available.
Yeah, hey, I've got Demetrius Smith, South Carolina Technical College's apprentice program, of course, statewide coordinator, NAACP, Dwight James, and the mayor, Willie Davis from St. George, South Carolina. Councilman, okay, all right. Was I giving you a promotion? Was that what it was? Tell us about the importance of today's program, if you will.
Well, it's very important. You know, economic development is huge, and there's a lot of different organizations, a lot of different people who have pieces to the puzzle, and it's important that we all come together so that we can get the big picture, and that we can pool resources, pool information, pool talent to better the economic situation for all citizens, but especially for the minority citizens.
I saw Reggie Vaughn sitting in the back. Reggie sold his car dealership, but he was the only minority-owned automotive dealership in Orangeburg, Toyota, a big organization. He sold it, and now he's doing training for Toyota. He paved the way for others. Is that happening enough in the area of manufacturing? In other words, are young people going into the manufacturing field and now thinking about opening manufacturing companies? Is that happening, or should that be a part of the conversation?
Well, we certainly think it should be part of the conversation. That's why we host this with the business school at Claflin each year for about 8 years running. We're trying to expand the conversation, look at options, put people together who have different ideas, and maybe form some partnerships that might result in manufacturing opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, and just good relationships for business and employment.
Mr. Councilman, I heard you saying about readiness in terms of young people and their appearance, soft skills. How important is that?
I think it's very important because, first of all, I'm just looking at Dorchester County and the fact that I've been around for 27 years, and we are just getting the proper infrastructure on the upper end of the county so that we might be able to access some of these jobs. And I would like for the local residents to be able to get some of these jobs, because you know when jobs come, taxes go up.
Absolutely.
They say they come down, but guess what? The whole answer lot goes up. You know, when you can afford to build a bigger house, you got more taxes on it. And I want those people to be able to maintain their house. So going to work, you got to get in a position to do anything. And I want our young boys to understand that you don't go to work any kind of way. You don't go to work when you want to. You go to work when the job requires. And you do a good job, and you don't have to worry about it, because everybody's looking for the best. I always used to tell my kids, I said, you know, why when you go to a barber shop and you find that there's 3 or 4 barbers and everybody's sitting around waiting, because they wait on the best. And we need to stress to our African-American students, young male, that they got to be the best.
Good point. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you also very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for your leadership.
Our pleasure.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Councilmember. Again, we're here at the African American Economic Summit, hosted by the NAACP. I'm Harvey Elwood. This is 93.7 FM, the People's Station.